Okay. Okay. Let's do a few things, tweak this out, guys. Say guys, no one's even in here yet. Move that a little bit closer. Right, let's get the old live stream going. Full channel. Okay. Link, copy, bosh. Live, and here's the link. Wallop. What's going on, Kebab? How you doing? Sorry, Holland. What's happening, mate? I'm all good. How are you? Yeah, I thought I'd jump on here. Why not? Looking at a few things as always, and I thought, well, I've got an hour, so or just over an hour. Might as well stream, have a chat with you, lovely people, and yeah. Since the old notice has gone in, do I need to do any work? No, I don't need to do any work. That's right, Kebab. That's right. No, it was good today because I obviously give me notice in a little while back, right? But I also so I run certain meetings per week. There's quite a lot of people in there, blah 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 blah. Loads of boring stuff, right? But today was the last time that I run one of those meetings, and I just signed off and just said, for those who don't know, I'm leaving. Good luck. See ya. Bosh. I didn't do it as unprofessional as that, but it was a good feeling for sure. Got anything running this midweek, Holland? No, nothing, mate. Just some training teams. But I need to. I'm actually out tomorrow and Friday, so I need to ensure that I've got my lineups at least kind of half set and built in Sorare, um, just in case I can't get to a computer, can't get to my phone, whatever it may be. So yeah, I need to. I'm gonna do that in a minute. Um, yeah. Have you? What's happening, Scamuel? Do you know anyone willing to sell a Hib stack? I don't. I don't. Who are you looking for? I'm assuming Boyle and Newell, Fish maybe at the back. I'm assuming those guys. The floors shouldn't be. What is this, limited or rare? Because the floors shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be too bad. I'm just making sure that I've tweeted this link out, and then I'll share screen and get into some bits and pieces. Make sure I've actually done the right link. That would help, wouldn't it? Yeah. Wallop. Right, let's turn the sound off there so there's no annoying sounds. Um, should have probably done all this before I actually hit the go button, but hey, oh well. Um, you've got a limited PSV stack, nice, but got Veerman in the lineup, so possible DMP. Yeah, it's possible DMPs, mate, but you got something to play for in a midweek. That's good enough. Yeah, limited. How do I get rid of that? I say it all the time. Can I pop out the chat? Is that better? Oh, that might be a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. They've got a great fixture this weekend. Let me transition over here so you're not just looking at my ugly face. I'll come on to this in a minute because it's kind of one of the reasons why I went live, because I was looking at this sort of stuff and I thought, why not talk about it with you guys? But who have they even got? I should know because Newell's in one of my lineups. Livingston, yeah, it's a good fixture, isn't it? The trouble is with that, Scamuel, is if you go all in on that, I would check to see after, what is it, tonight's game or tomorrow's game? I think it's tonight with Celtic. Because even Newell, for argument's sake, right, we scroll down here. So last time they played on the game week 4-9-1-9, and then he was rested for 420. Now, I don't know. Let's have a little look. So Boyle wasn't playing there. He was arrested by the looks of it, or whether he was just coming back. Fish did play. But yeah, Boyle or Newell didn't play. Levitt played though. So just be careful if you're trying to buy one for there. Afternoon, Sam. Welcome, mate. What's going on? Welcome back. You're trying to get a 240 stack with Tav. Who's that? Is he one of these guys? What's going on, Russ? Um, Tavares. Tava. Who's Tavares? Have I spelled that right? Tavares. Oh, this guy, Tavares. Oh, right. Sorry, my bad, mate. Should have seen that, shouldn't I? Yeah, he's got a good score for it. Yeah, just be careful. See what Play Sharper says, and see what a couple of other people say. Um, yeah, but I was looking at Carlos Hill, right? Because I've contemplated this before. I think I said it in one of my recent videos or a tweet or something like that. I was open to selling Carlos Hill, and then I changed my mind. Then I'm open to it. Then I changed my mind. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do for it. But obviously his price is coming down a little bit now. He's half the price of Messi, half the price of Griezmann, those types of players. Now, as we know, Carlos Hill is obviously a very, very good, so rare card to have, right? I'm not saying he's not. But then I was looking at a few of the let me bring it up. I think I closed it down just before I come on here. Was it player rankings? I was looking at a few of the second division players who are midfielders as well, right? And showing the floor price. Now, if I we'll just leave it as L15. So we'll talk about show floor price. We talk about Hartle. We could talk about Sarah and maybe Bennett, right? Who else was on that list? Oh, and this guy. So the last sale for Hartle. So if I showed you his scores and I said that that was Carlos Hill, you'd probably be like, yeah, maybe performing a little bit better than that. But you would kind of believe it to a point. If I showed you Sarah, he's been playing very, very well for Norwich since what, middle of last season. He has a lot of games. He plays 90s week in and week out. He takes all of their set pieces, and although his floor price is 0.16, if you look at his last sale, it was like 0.13, right? So then I'm thinking, well, if I sold Carlos Hill for, let's jump back to him. What was his last sale at? His last sale was 0.21. Say I sold him even at point 0.2, right? Then I buy a Hartle for what is the sorry, what was the last sale? 0.11. Say I even get him for point like 1.3. I've still got some change over. I was talking about Sarah, wasn't I? But even if I bought him, I've still got some change over, and then I could maybe go ahead and get a Bennett as well. So, I mean, is that a good idea? Or even this guy? Look at this guy. He's 0.04. Look at these scores. And these scores, by the way, was a different club. So he's now gone to this team, and let's take away his subs and his DMPs, etc. He now takes all set pieces as well. So I'm just thinking that would it warrant my gallery for the next few months? I don't really see Carlos Hill going up. Maybe he goes to like 0.26 just before the season, maybe. I mean, I'm speculating, and obviously anything can happen, but this is the type of thing that I'm thinking of. Um, Looks like Maxime's just sold Carlos Hill as well, actually, as the last sale. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. To get him out and then get two of these guys in, you know, like 0.01, 0.04, 0.08, right? You could probably get him for a little bit less. So let's say that's 0.11, and then I'll pick up a Sarah as well for 0.13. Basically, I spend a little bit more. I get Sarah, Bennett, and Colombato. Am I like losing it there, or is it worth obviously keeping Carlos Hill because he's Carlos Hill and he scores like that? I don't know. What do you think, boys? What do you think? Let me catch up here. Oh, what's going on, Cameron? You managed to win the Frankie Kent. Nice. What price did you get him at? Oh, mine just knowing. Frankie Kent. What price did you get him at? Got my laptop covering that, so I couldn't see it. 0.24. Yes, an alright price. An alright price, mate. Good chance that Hartle gets promoted. Sarah looks class though. How are Norwich even doing this year? I'm well out of touch with the championship. I just pay it no attention whatsoever. I'm assuming they're in the top half. Oh wow, okay. So they could make playoffs. I don't think they get automatic places. I think they're just too far off it for the moment, unless they have a crazy, crazy run. Um, but yeah, Sara does look very, very good, doesn't he? Um, Senior's the same price, but his injuries are something to take in mind. Yeah, I when I first come on here, I mean everybody was ranting and raving about Cecilia and Carlos Hill and those type of players, especially through the summer. But I've never really been that interested in owning this guy. Now, don't get me wrong, if I won one of them, I'd be, quite happy. But you're right, these amount of injuries. But then when he does play, he's likely to score very, very well. But he's not interested me in terms of actually going to pick him up, is what I'm trying to say. Kebab, where are you playing then? So probably best football in Division 2 is so probably going up. Yeah, I suppose that's a risk. So where am I playing? That's probably a good question, right? So obviously, as I keep on banging on about, I'm probably boring the shit out of some people. Cap 240 super rare priority. I'll probably be playing these four tournaments, and that's basically it. Um, so yeah, the All Star and those guys could fit in there. They're probably obviously not going to be fitting in Cap 240. So where I'll be playing with is it where I'll be playing them is All Star Rare and All Star Rare Plus. Um, but it gives me some rotation. Obviously, I lose Diego Rossi. So, for argument's sake, say Pencil comes up here. But then, even so, like with that Carlos Hill money, right? Say I went and got a. Um, I mean, this guy really does interest me. I need to find out more about him, right? For 0.04. But it seems like it's good cover. But say I went ahead and got Asara, and then if I just switch this to forwards, um, for the same price as Carlos Hill. So that Sarah was say like 0.13. So let's sort it 0.08. Or I don't mind spending a touch more on it. But maybe a Fabian Reese. How much was his last sale though? Because I didn't see that his floor price. 0.15. So I could get a banging forward that, or a Perrin. This is the guy that I was looking at, sorry. So I could get a Perrin and a Sarah for a touch more than Carlos Hill. And then when I lose Rossi from here, I've got another forward to come in. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, ideally, I'd like to keep Carlos Hill probably because I'm on point. What am I on? 9% on him, level like 17 or whatever it may be. So yeah, it'd be great to keep him for the summer. But I'm just thinking for the next 3 months. And do I see his price increasing? No. I don't know, boys. I don't know. That's what's going through my head at the moment. Cameron says, "What's your thoughts on the new player sign up for £10 free credit?" Um, I don't know what. So anybody who signs up, they just get a £10 free credit. Is that right? I'm out of the loop on that one. Brunetta is the goat. Here he says, "Yeah, how much is Brunetta?" But he isn't. He's obviously away, isn't he, for a little while? 0.18. I mean that those scores are fantastic as well, especially if you've got the. I'm assuming the forward. Yeah, the forward card just absolutely slaps, doesn't it? Just mad. Perrin love his AA. Simon says yes. He's probably caught people's attention, and he's probably a little bit maybe inflated, but I still look at these rare prices and I just think Jesus, they are so cheap nowadays, aren't they? Um, in here, he's always played for Auxerre as well. But if I just go to all, yeah, it's always Auxerre. The issue with him as well, though, is this just like a nice little purple patch for him because he's not really done this on a regular basis, or is this the start of something where he's going to start doing this on a regular basis? That's the question that I have with him, and it probably reflects his price rather than being and actually going for the 0.15s and the 0.16s. 240 is your priority, I assume. Yeah, absolutely, Scamuel. Yeah, absolutely. So really, I mean, I'm talking about selling Carlos Hill and picking up some rares. I have got a decent ETH balance to get another forward in. Because that's what I said yesterday, didn't I? That I need another forward. I need somebody to support Niang in here because my super rares are not really strong enough in the rare plus. Um, I mean, you're pretty much looking at them because I lose, as I said, I've lost a couple of America players, so you're pretty much looking at them. So maybe instead of getting some rares, I need like a really solid or really strong super rare to play in rare plus. Maybe that's the way to go. Um, yeah, it's to encourage new players to sign up. They give credit for their first buy. Yeah, I mean it's a little incentive. I mean, there's loads of businesses that do that, aren't there? It's like I don't know. You sign up to ASOS for the first time or something like that, and it's like, oh, here's 20% off, or it just entices people. That's fine, fine for me. Nearly 300 new players signed up yesterday alone, a massive increase to the normal rate of players signing up. Yeah, it's what we need. We need that snowball now, don't we? I just saw that. Where was it? It might still be on my homepage. Yeah, I just saw that Channy done a video around like, are we harming ourselves? Are we hurting ourselves? And I've been reading a lot of tweets out there, just people absolutely slating things. And you know, if you're slating things but you're still playing the game, you are genuinely only hurting new people coming on. Because if new people are into content creation or content, should I say, rather than creation, just into content and looking at YouTube videos and looking around on Twitter and seeing what the community is like, etc., we're just kind of putting them off, you know. So it's just you're probably best off. I don't know. In my opinion, maybe keeping your mouth shut a little bit. I don't know. If you don't think Hill's price will rise, you could do it, but don't fall into the same thing that happened with the MLS. Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm not too sure what to do. I'll probably, yeah, I think I keep Rossi because I think that he can become one of the best forwards in the game next year. Because I was open to selling him, but I think I keep him now. But as I said, I'd rather like check this out, right? This is another thing that I was thinking of. So Herrera is a third of the price of Carlos Hill. I know he's older, I get it, but you look at them scores, I don't mind that paying a third of the price for Carlos Hill. That's what I'm thinking. Um, who is that guy? So cool. She, who is this? So he plays for Albania. Oh, he plays for Konyaspor. I mean, yeah, he's not bad for capped, is he? Who's he got this week? And he's got Sivasspor. And then he's got an. He's ain't a bad shout, you know. I mean, he is 33. What was his last sale of his super? It was the 0.14. You'll probably get him for maybe like 0.12. I mean, it's not bad, is it? I'll whack him on the list. That's ever growing. And I'll never make a decision as to who I'm going to buy. I only watched half his video, but I agree with the points in that. Yeah, I'll probably watch it tomorrow or listen to it while I'm driving. I think so. It's starting spot is also class, very affordable. I don't actually know who this guy is. Sorare. Oh, the PSV guy. AA's bad though, but yeah, for a cap mode maybe. Um, cool. So yeah, but if I go back to the lineup builder, there's a couple of things that I ideally need to sort out before the deadline. or before tomorrow, because as I said, I'm kind of away a little bit. So my super rares, you see here the other two are Machida and Kevin Rodriguez, right? But this is my super rare 240 team that I showed yesterday. We've got Kingsley, we've got Newell, we've got Drewers. I suppose the only one that I'm missing out here is Sebastian Young, who I could stack with Drewers, but I think that Kingsley's got a better fixture, as somebody said earlier. For oh no, they were talking about Hibbs, but he's got an okay fixture. Then we've got Niang in there along with Belhanda against Galatasaray. So if I could get another forward in there, I'll probably play him over Niang. But I'm probably all right with this. I've kind of come to terms with that might not hit threshold. From an all-star rare point of view, this is what I'm looking at: Heredetsky, Grimaldo, Garcia, Kramaric, and Palacios. Now I could take Palacios out of this and put in Pantsil, but I might not do that. I mean, Bayer Leverkusen have got a tough-ish. It's first versus third against Stuttgart away from home. You got Garcia against Barcelona, so I expect him to have some AA in that game. Palacios, if it's a tough game, he kind of always performs well in okay games when he's got a lot to do. So I don't mind him there. And then Kramaric in there with hopefully an easier fixture for him. But then if we go to All Star Rare Plus, these are the other two super rares that I'm talking about. We've got Diego Rossi at home. I don't know if that is at home. Does anybody know that? Is it at Columbus or is this at a neutral ground? Be interesting to see. But obviously that's the MLS Cup final, so that'd be should be a great game. And then Teddy Tuma in there, which I'm not expecting great things of as well. And then Morris in there to just link up with the away fixture with Machida. So it's probably my less priority lineup. But this is the lineup that I'm quite interested in. And I was looking for a midfielder for this because we've got Pantsil with the double A fixture. We've got Burgers. And every time that he's played Sporting, was it Shalari? I don't know how to say the club's name. But every time he's played them, he's scored really, really well. Like, really well. So putting him in there, and then with Proper and Unisol with the AAA fixtures as well at home. So I just needed to find somebody who's got 40 points. L15 is 40 for a midfielder. And I have found one person for this who I think that's got good upside. But I am waiting to see what goes on tonight because they have a fixture. And I'm not going to say who that is because in case he goes. But if anybody knows somebody who's got an L15 of 40 who think would be a good like midfielder in here, I'm more all ears to listen to who you guys think. Leverkusen will win, but don't expect a clean sheet because Stuttgart are good. Yeah, exactly. Cameron says Hearts normally lose when the game is in Aberdeen. Oh, really? Just saying over the years between the two teams, whichever one plays at home normally wins. That's interesting. I mean, the lineup's pretty shit anyway. Like when you look at this, Rossi's probably the only decent one in there. So, yeah. Um, I'm sure I had somebody else that I couldn't squeeze in. Oh yeah, it was who was it? It was this guy. So what I could also do was put in Victor, the Girona kind of right forward. I could put him in here for Pantsil and then just simply play this guy, Alberto Reina, and just push for the threshold. But I think that if I play Pencil in there and get the guy that I'm thinking of, I do think that I could probably push for a card. David Taylor says, I've also got Burgers also in capped 240. He should be a good option, as you say. Yeah, I agree. This game week, I do agree. Um, yeah. So as I said, I'm all ears, guys, for any 40 coins, gems, whatever you want to call it, as an L15. If anyone's got one. Um, but yeah, also I'm still thinking about this Carlos Hill thing. I mean, are New England going to be any good next year? I mean, they're going to have to sign a goalkeeper. Their defense is pretty trash. They've lost obviously Gustavo Boo. I think they've signed Chancellor again, but Hill just does what he does, doesn't he? No matter what it is. Maybe check Ithemi. Got 240. He's been back healthy. Sub last 2 games. Should start this game. I mean, previously back here, but we're talking about March here. He had this good stretch. Does he take any sets? He does, doesn't he? Right, let's just go L5 because that's when he's been playing. So he's taken 2 corners there. But it's normally this guy who takes them, whoever he is. But they're bottom of the league. I mean, I don't like signing a player from bottom of the league. That's just not ideal, is it? There was a guy. Oh no, this was. I was talking about his super. Where is he? Is this him? I was looking at this guy's super rare, by the way. Seems alright. I mean, obviously, last 3 games have been dog shit, but in terms of these green scores, seems okay. Barry Mackay is supposed to be on the bench tonight against Rangers, but could start against Aberdeen. Oh, this is the fellow who's going to come back and potentially take some of their sets, right? Yeah, I mean that's good, isn't it? He's a good player for Cap there. Until up and down, he takes corners. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Let me whack him on it. Not Cap too. Let me put him on there and see. Let me see. What time does I mean, you're probably gonna actually know who this is. But when do they kick off? At 7 o'clock. So it is somebody from Genk that I'm looking at. I'm looking to see who the starting lineup is here. I think if he starts in this game, he may not start the weekend. I'll just tell you who it is because fuck it. At the end of the day, you go out there and pick him up, boys. Then you go out there and pick him up. You know what I mean? It's this guy, L15 of your watch list. I filled. Yeah, there's a lot in there, isn't there? There's a lot in there. But it's always with that. It's not necessarily that I'm going to buy them all. Obviously, I mean I ain't made of money, but it's just monitoring prices. Almost for probably 50% of them, it's just monitoring prices. But yeah, it's this guy because look, he's capable of 184 and 87. They've got a decent fixture. So the trouble is with him is that he's rotation risk. I don't know what's going on with Julian Desart. Is he back? Does anybody have news on Julian Desart? Heyman went off injured. I don't know how bad that injury is. Um, but also I think this guy's almost took that second spot in CDM by the looks of it in a few last few games. So it'd be interesting. But just considering how cheap he is, Patrick is like that is cheap. Somebody picked him up since I was looking earlier. No, yeah, he's just cheap. He's just somebody I would get him for like £11 and then just see really. David, you hold this guy, but it's extremely frustrating hold for you this season. Impossible to predict. Yeah, exactly. Big rumors this summer he was going to move to Turkey. I'm holding for a move. What's his AA game like? I mean, let me just go by Genk. Let me just. And I want to go by stuff. I mean, AA's alright as well, isn't it? And he pops up with a little decisive in there. He could do. Yeah, this definitely wouldn't be a player that I'm putting in lineups week in and week out. I just know that there's some rotation there at the moment. Haynan's injured. I think Desart that's for actual Ghent, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about that, but yeah, I'm wondering if he starts. If you're looking for a mid, Super Shelby is good in my opinion. It's funny. Um, so Shelby kind of comes from similar place where I come from, and I used to play football with his brother a little bit at Dagenham Bridge. But yeah, he's like a friend of many of my friends. So it was interesting when he went out to Turkey. I mean, I don't know him. I wouldn't have a conversation with him, so to speak. But what is he? L50. Yeah, but he's 41. But in terms of super rare, no one's selling one though. What was this trade? What did that go for? Oh, that's quite big. 0.21, yeah. Probably because he's starting to do okay there, isn't he? Ain't bad though. How long's he out there for? Is it a loan or is it permanent? AA before he was dropped was excellent. Him and Hayner were in midfield were excellent options. You can easily get 20 AA when he starts. Yeah, definitely. So I'm just gonna see what that lineup is. If he's not starting, I might bite the bullet and get him in, and then whack him into, as I said, into, let me go to saved, into this lineup here, and then try and win a card from there. You know, why not? A proper Charlton boy. Yeah, yeah, he is, mate. Sorare Holland, I picked up for £5 and sold him for £9. Sorry scores and they concern me. So, but yeah, that's kind of all that I'm cooking, so to speak. If I just go to Cap 270 and throw in a few of the players that I've not got in there, it is, well, this guy's annoying because then he started and got injured. So I'm waiting to hear what's going on with him. Not that I'd put him in a lineup for this week, but then we've got Brennett, which I don't think he's going to start. I think Stamp Seed starts. Rayner does start. Victor does start, and then Taylor Booth doesn't start. So if I just save that and put it in here, you can see the kind of the bench that I'm looking at really, and it's not great. It's not great pickings. So I am a little bit thin. Hence why I was saying about, if I get rid of Hill and then get in some of the boys that I was talking about, like another forward for when Rossi goes, a Hartle or a Bennett in there, or whoever it may be, it just gives me that added bit of depth, doesn't it? I think it kind of makes sense. Or I don't sell Hill, I keep him and I just buy these rares from my ETH balance. But then at the same time, I need another forward super rare. So it's like, don't know. I'm still unsure. Still unsure, boys. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next couple of hours. I'm sure I'll do something. Let's just have a little look at Play Sharper. Do you know what would be a nice feature on Play Sharper is when you go on there, you can see the games that have been added. Because it seems like I'm going in there all the time and I'm just going through all of these things, all of these teams, saying to myself, oh, has this been added? Has it not been added? That'd be annoying. Locked up as well. Yeah, I don't think there's been any updates here. Who's playing for Westerlo? I mean, that looks an okay fixture for them. Who's this guy? Don't look like he's got a card though. Reynolds. Bullet. If you don't sell Hill, I would rather buy a super rare forward than rare. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. Eating on. Freezing. Yeah, I should probably. But so if I'm buying a super rare, so I need to buy one anyway, right? But if I'm buying one for this weekend, I need somebody who's 48 and below, don't I? 48 and below. So we probably want to look in here. Forward, 48 and below. So that guy, obviously, which somebody said earlier. I mean, he would be good, but he's got a tough fixture, so it doesn't make any difference in terms of just this game week. I've said before I'd like a Boyle, but he's just too expensive at the moment. Ingoy, I'm going to stay away with, so he's coming off the list. I'm going to stay away from him. And then he's not being sold, the St. Pauli guy. So, yeah, my watch list for forwards pretty dog shit. Would now not be the worst time to sell any MLS card? Yeah, probably. Probably. But I think Laird done he had a chart last season and he was like, oh, I'll watch these guys from the tail end of the MLS season and put them all in a watch list and then just watch their prices. And he was just saying, I should be rich by now when it comes to the start of the season again, because he was expecting, or the expectation was, is that those cards went up in price, but they actually didn't. I think they even went down a little bit. But the way that prices are going with cards at the moment, I think that it probably just goes down a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I've got two defenders that are quite low in price, but I bought them for like £2 more than when they were worth something. Should I hold and hope for more good form or sell them? It depends whether they make sense for your gallery, Jack, and what you're doing with them. Do you need depth in your gallery? Are they, you bought them. I always say this to myself before selling somebody, and not that I'm some sort of preacher or whatever the right word is for this, some guru, I suppose is the right word. But you bought them for a reason in the first place. And what was that reason? And does that still make sense? Like I bought Carlos Hill last year or a year ago, whenever it was, because I needed a smasher midfielder and I was playing MLS and he was basically the best one out there. And I could play him in All Star, I could play him in All Star Rare Pro at the time, I could play him anywhere. And he would kind of probably put the captain's armband on him as well. So if I sell him now, it's because one, because of prices, two, because I could probably get similar performers and get multiple of them and get a bit of depth into my gallery when I haven't got it at the moment. Um, and then also, the obviously the MLS is out for 3 months, and do I really think that he's going to go up to like 0.4, 0.5? I just don't see it personally. That's what's going through my head. So yeah, Jack, I would just say it depends whether he's in your plan. I mean, Sorare Data YouTube, they done a show yesterday about talking about plans and stuff like that. So stick to a plan and see if it works. You know, I've got a. So is he playing Santander? Let me just see where these are in the league. They're eighth. So it's a tough-ish fixture. How does he get on away from home? Because I might even just pick this guy. Oh, pretty shit. I was gonna say I might pick him up this week. Are you interested in trading for another MLS card or wanting to get more Europeans in? Um, I wouldn't. I mean, Carlos Hill is probably in the top three midfielders that you can get in the MLS. So I wouldn't trade him. And the other ones that just spring to mind there are Acosta and Herrera, with Almeida going and stuff like that. So I wouldn't swap them for either of those. Um, would I swap him for a Messi and put some ETH in? Maybe. There'd be no other forward card that I'd swap him for, and then defender definitely not. Goalkeeper definitely not. So probably no is the answer to that, Cameron. What's going on, Stefan? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, mate. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know. Or as I said, or I just literally don't do anything this week and then see where I am at the end of it. Because if I bought in, say I bought in, mm, say I bought in. Let me think about this logically. Say I bought in this guy to play this weekend, home fixture. Don't know where Preston are, but I fancy Norwich to beat Preston. Eighth. Maybe not. Although their goal concedes are big. So if I bought him in, where would I play him? Probably in here in Palacios' role. Would I play him there? Would I play him there? Or maybe taking Teddy Tuma's role. Teddy Tuma comes out and then he slots in, but then the Super Rares are not the best there. So am I just wasting it? I mean, looking at this, I don't really have a lineup, do I? That's going to be really, really competing somewhere in terms of fixtures. Cards maybe like with Garcia's, Grimaldo's, but in terms of the fixtures, it doesn't really line up, does it? Jack said, "What are the best competitions to put cards in that you'll have higher chance of rewards?" Have a look. Have a look at who's entered in already. I mean, second division Europe, but then I don't know how many cards they're giving away. Challenger is always tough. Champion's tough. I mean, it's probably All-Star to try and nick a card, you know, because they give out so many. But you'd have to. There are Twitter accounts and things like that that deal with those calculations. So I'd search around on there and see if you could find one of those. Let me just check the old work emails. Supposed to be working, and I. Yeah. Cancelled that. Superb. Cancelled that. See you later. Ta-da. What do I do, boys? Do I hold? Do I hold and try and get that fella for midfielder and just see what happens this week, or do I go out there and do some business? Do I go out there, Parrot? You kind of look like Stefan. All right, let's have a look at this guy. Ristovsky. Ristovs. Maybe. Maybe a little bit. Maybe. I feel like I used to be a lot better looking when I was a kid. I think it's just went downhill from there. Oh, fuck me. Fuck me. Oh. What's his price going for now? See, this is mad to me as well, right? So, oh, okay, so he's healthy. Yeah, I was gonna say his floor price is nearly the same as that Calambato, whatever his name was. It's like they're just totally different players, aren't they? Mad. Let's see what who's listed any of my watch list up on the market so far. Oh, there was a player that I was looking at who's on auction actually. So rare. Him. This is the one that I was looking at. So an hour and 40 minutes left. So it's just, well, that guy's looks like a bit of a trader, but this guy ain't bad. Don't know why he was sub last game, but he looks like an okay forward for a super rare, depending on what price he goes for. But yeah, that's one that I'm interested in. Oh, Son's got a nice little celebration card. They look good, don't they? But I don't think. I mean, what would you boys do? Would you specifically now go out and buy a celebrations card just because of the way that they look? Are you like a card fan? Whereas me, I'm just thinking, well, what utility do they give me in order to win money and to win other cards? I don't really give a shit what they look like. I mean, it looks nice when you're looking at your gallery and they look, yeah, that'd look great in my gallery. But am I going to pay an extra £200 for that? Absolutely not. I know it's some people are into those sort of things though, so I'm not discrediting that. But for me, I don't really care. Who's listed who? He would be a good super rare for me, I think. Junior Ito. Looked at him so many times. I would like to have him in. But again, for the price, I just look at all of these and I just think for the price, why spend half an ETH on him when you could get probably two super rares that give you the same thing? I mean, this guy gives you the same thing almost. Look, from a score wise, yeah, there's might not be as much AA back here, but look at the last few games. He's clearly capable of it. Do you know what I mean? I think it's mad. You got a signed Shanklin player card. He's your favourite player. Overpaid at the time, but I just love the card. I won't sell it. Yeah, I mean that's cool. But it's just when I suppose what I'm trying to say is when people go out there and then they're specifically like it was a card that they did have no interest in, and then they just look at it and think, oh, that looks nice. Let me bid on it. I know there's people out there that do that sort of thing, but I just wouldn't overpay for any card. I guess personally. Unless it's a one of or well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Um, Let me go back into it and change this to players as well, because I've added a few players, haven't I, to the watch list. Let's see if anyone's come up. I was a little bit gutted about this actually. So Pavel Trader was selling a he was selling a super rare of this for 0.1. He countered me and said, "Give me 0.1 ETH." And where was it? I think it was here, maybe this 54. And then since then he's done really well, wasn't he? So he would have been one that I was actually comfortable putting into a like All-Star Rare Plus or Pro or Plus, whatever they call it. Yeah, take some of their sets. Looks like he's got a now position now. Yeah, so that would have been a good one for the gallery at that price. Who else has come on the market since? I mean, a Griezmann at 0.38. I sold him for 0.72 about 3 months ago. Just halved in price. Mad, isn't it? He's fucking mad. I don't know whether to put a cheeky offer in for this guy, you know. What was his last sale? 0.13. Who's selling him? So he's got one on auction. Pug Trader. So you could probably get him quite quickly off of him. Who's the other guy selling him? Maybe I'll look at Pug Trader's gallery. He'd take a Carlos Hill, wouldn't he? Have a look. Cameron says, to be fair, there's only one card that's signed. Other dynamic images will come out in the future. That is true. That is true. It sets it out, you know, sets it that apart from the rest, doesn't it? Has he got any of my players on any of my watch lists? Rare or super? No goalkeepers. No defender. Oh, he's got one of him. Oh, Gedson Fernandez, he's that low, 0.06. This guy can smash. Shit. 0.06. Like, I wonder if this guy would accept, like, a Carlos Hill. Yeah, but Tadic is 35. I was going to say, like, a Carlos Hill and a Tadic for, sorry, a Carlos Hill for Tadic and Sara plus, like, ETH. But then he's probably going to be looking for, like, 0.2, isn't he? Top of that, which is a bit mad. Have a look at Basil Bot, who's he got into his gallery recently. Anyone on form to win something from last night's games? Anyone got any lineups out there? Let's have a look. Watch list. I don't know why I always just go to my own watch list, but there's players out there that I should probably be just looking at in general. I put an offer. It was funny. I put an offer in for Stindl for like what his last sale price was, like 0.1 something or whatever. And Basil just come back and just said, "Nah, I'll have the like the 1.2 ETH, please." I was like, "Are you joking?" Maybe he's got a sentimental like thing with that card, but fucking hell, I ain't paying an ETH for it. um, Anyone in here? Really, forward point of view? No, nah. Really got him in, is he? Yeah. My Celtic plays today. Nice, decent. Nice and decent. I don't really care what happens with that game because Newell's in my training lineups. So yeah. Just keep looking at this guy. This is the guy that I keep looking at. Does he stack with anyone? Stacks with a defender or a goalkeeper, another midfielder, not really a forward. Paulino, I don't know who this guy is. He don't look ideal, does it? Well, oh yeah, don't look ideal. The Arsenal boys did well last night. Didn't have their defenders, thankfully. Yeah, forwards scored well, didn't they? I'm assuming a Saka or Martinelli, somebody like that you had. I do like the Liga because they have so many games. I mean, Bob was saying this on the Sorare Data show the other day. They have a lot of games, and especially if you can get someone finishing like 4, 5, and 6, they have the playoffs as well. I wonder who's taken the most sets. Or actually, let's just do all positions. Who's taken the most sets in the last 15? I love a set piece taker. Matthew's taken 56 corners. Cote, you see that even that Colombato Bato is in there. He's only been there, I think, from the beginning of the season. What's going on, Jack? By the way, if anyone ain't subscribed to Jack P, so his Sorare account, then go and do that. He's doing an advent calendar thing this month, which I think is, I've told him, I think it's a great idea. So get involved with that sort of stuff. Go follow him on Twitter and all of that. Have a look at him. So he's got a defender card, but he plays up front, doesn't he? Oh, he's a forward card that potentially plays at left back as well. So that's why he's appearing. But he takes sets. Who else? I'll just keep coming back to this guy. This gone. No worries, mate. Don't know. Don't know. AA standpoint, he's decent. All sets, pops up with goals. What was his last sale? 2 hours ago, someone bought him. I don't know. I don't know. Agar Aketig. Can't even say that. Darks. I need to sit up a little bit rather than slouching. Mummy wouldn't be happy with me slouching, would she? Let's have a look at him. You said Agar Aki. This guy, Ibar. Yeah, he's a good player. Looks like he's got a bad injury record though. Been at the same club as well. I don't know. I don't know. Stojkovic. Yeah, he's a forward that I was looking at as well from a super rare standpoint. Ibar Probs won't get promoted either. I suppose that's what you. It's almost what you want. You know, somebody said earlier about the Saint Poli guys. It's if they do get promoted, what happens to their cards? I think there's only that Bestie guy. I think his name's Bestie, who's been promoted from Bundesliga 2, and then he's still doing really well in the Bundesliga itself. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Dewsbury Hall is very expensive, isn't he? Yeah, I don't know. I should probably just be looking at forward, shouldn't I? Forward super rares. That if that's my priority, I just get pulled in. I just want to know who starts for Genk tonight, because then I can just pull the trigger on that guy. I'll whack him in, and then maybe I'll just leave it unless I sign a super rare. So go from there. How much are these like? So that let's go to that player rankings page again, because how much thus are there super rares? So if we just go from like defenders, how much are their super rares? I mean, Monfrey at like basically 0.5. From what he offers you as a super rare, you're getting like 90 points week in and week out. That surely sets you up for just such a solid foundation to add in a couple of players after that. I mean, even this guy, like his last sale by the looks of it was Plays centre back. Oh, he's probably gone off injured, hasn't he? So yeah. Barbet even. He's only 30. I mean, look at those scores. What was his super rare? Last one 4 days ago, 0.68. I mean, it's still a lot of money, but just considering like a year and a half ago, I was looking at 0.68 for rares, and then you can get a super rare who's that good. Mad, isn't it? It's mad. It is mad. Who else is in here? This is basically what I've been doing for like the last 3 hours. Not making any decisions, just scrolling through. Just scrolling through and not making any decisions. I keep coming back to Pampin as well. I don't know why he's not on my watch list. See, because he could be a decent super rare that I put in a decent lineup as and when. It's from an AA standpoint, he does really well. And I'm sure he takes some of their sets. Well, only 2 in the last 15, so maybe not. Free kick in there as well. Danny Martin. Did you see Eve hit 1,800 quid for the first time since May? Did it really? I don't even... Shit. There you go. Look at that. This morning, early hours, it was up to 18. I remember... So when I first bought in, what was the price when you first bought in at EFAT, boys? It'd be interesting. Because the price that I bought in at was 2,000 and 2,800, I think it was. And I put some money in and I just basically got nothing back. Just nothing back. And then it went down all the way to like 800 and I bought some more in there. So it kind of balanced out. So probably it was around this figure. I mean, what's my gallery valuation at? If I was to sell my gallery, I'm definitely not getting that. You'd probably get 4 ETH, 4 grand. Yeah, 7. Yeah, fair enough. I was getting it at 300-ish. Shit. Was you really? I suppose it was more of a risk back then though, right? Especially the game itself. But I'm assuming, Jack, that you was in from the beginning then, or near the beginning. You bought in at 1,400, then it dropped to under. I'm assuming that's meant to be, under like a pound, or is that meant to be 100 or 1,000? What was it, Cameron? And then I started when ETH was 250. Shit, was at a time I was so scared of buying. Yeah, exactly. I actually think the first year that I was on Sorare, I made more money holding ETH than cards. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. 4K Australian dollars. Well, I had a lot before. I don't know what that conversion is, but or 1,000. Yeah, 3 years on Sorare. Oh, nice. Started to buy Bitcoin and ETH just before I started playing. All right, fair dues. So you was a kind of an early adopter, so to speak. Hence why your gallery's like madness, mate. Not saying that you can't afford to put all of that dough in, but fuck me, some of your cards when I was looking earlier, when I was watching your video, I was just thinking, shit, they'd be nice to have. They would be nice. But yeah, I probably bought in at one of the most expensive times, especially when the car prices were just going up as well. Um, Hence why I waited. I thought that I got Carlos Hill at a good price at 0.6, 0.65, and since then, yeah, bad. David joined in September 2020 and bought a Lafont £200. You know. Oh. And then there was me when I first joined. I was like, shit, I'll buy point 0.1 of an ETH for like fucking £700 or whatever it was. Oh well, it's the times that we live in. Got to have a bit of luck, haven't you? He's another Andorra player. This guy I was looking at. Bronze is selling him, or Brones, however you say his name. He's become a starter again, so it's decent. 0.01 as well. Has he always been there? Yeah. Anyone else just feel so angry when you've got a cold or sinuses and you've got one nostril that's blocked. How fucking infuriating is that shit? You're laying there overnight trying to go to sleep and you've just got one nostril that's blocked. Can't stand it. I've got one now. Not that people need to know that sort of shit, but it's so annoying. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm all nasally and shit. What's going on, Rico man? Welcome to the stream. Cameron says, to be fair, I picked up a Magnon for 1 ETH 2 months ago. Now it doesn't sell for 0.6. Yeah, I think that's just the way that it's going, isn't it? That is the worst feeling, kebab. Yeah, I know. I mean, I do use like that Sudafed nose spray shit, but not too good. Because you become addicted to it a little bit, you know. You know what? Who else might be a decent forward as a super rare, by the way, is this guy, Lacazette. He's been on my watch list for about 2 months just because of the way that Leon are performing, and obviously he keeps tanking in terms of his performances. I know that he's been shit, but he's been linked to the MLS. Hence why probably these 3 people have kind of picked him up. But scores all right, doesn't he? He does all right. Check Tenerife super rares out. Not sure on prices, but those guys are all not bad pickups. Yeah, we can take a look for sure. Jack, I always get paid out in ETH over GB when ETH is low. Obviously, you never know what could happen in the price long term. I try to sell cards when ETH is low, generally more ETH. Yeah, makes sense, mate. It does make sense, yeah. Sam says, it's better when both are blocked because then you don't make the mistake to breathe. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I bought this sinus. So now we're talking about this sort of shit. Why not just tell you my health struggles? No, I suffer with sinusitis. So I bought this spray thing recently. I don't know. Again, I don't know if apparently you're meant to do it like once a day or once a week or whatever it may be to really flush out any like allergies, dust mite shit that's got in your nose and you can't get rid of it. But you literally put this saline spray and you squirt it up one nostril, it comes out the other one. Fucking weird feeling. And but yeah, you can't do it basically when you've got both blocked up nose. But I've started doing that recently, and that's definitely helped. So if anyone has them drop balls, then yeah, it's definitely worth getting one of those. Lacazette has Turkish league written all over him. I think he's got MLS written all over him. That's where the rumors are. But I can see him being out there, yeah, for sure. I can see him smashing out there as well. Yeah, I thought, yeah. So he was somebody that I was definitely interested in. How has he got on since? Because I was seriously looking at buying his rare card a little while ago. He's not too bad. I don't know. Who was we going to look at? Tenerife, wasn't we? We was going to take a look at. Sam Baines, I reckon you just peg your nose and accept that you're going to have to breathe through your mouth. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Unless your nose never recovers, which it seems like fucking my nose is at the moment. What was we looking at? It was Tenerife, wasn't it? Right, first who's the set piece taker? Looks like it gets shared, but maybe this guy. He ain't a bad super, is he? For cat modes. I mean, I know it's high at the moment with a 55, but you can go back here, and I'm assuming there's sub appearances, yeah. So does he start week in and week out since then? Yeah. And has he always been at Tenerife? He has, even before that. He reminds me a little bit of Joe Newell, like the other super rare that I've obviously already picked up. 6 days, 0.14. See, this is madness when I'm looking at super rares and they're just 0.14. Honestly, that again, I think I'm fixed in like 8 months ago. Because 8 months ago for 0.14, he was picking up like an average midfielder or an average whatever it may be, an average forward. But now you can genuinely pick up super rares, like decent super rares, for really good prices compared to like what I'm used to. I need to try and get my fucking head around that shit. Who's the players that you said? You said Melot. You said Lopez. Lopez. So is he a forward? No, he's still a midfielder, but it looks like he's getting a gig up top a little bit. I mean, yeah, they are really solid, aren't they, in terms of super rares? and cap modes, or not just super rares, cap modes. Yeah. Who else did you say? Ammo and Waldo. Ammo. This guy. Oh shit. Ammo. Look at him. Hold on. His last super rare was 0.03. 0.09. That'd have been decent. Let's pick that up. Melot is good and should be back in the next few weeks. Did I even look at that guy? I did, didn't I? He's a good card, isn't he? Capable with the spikes. Long time ago, but he's capable. Where does he play? Centre back, right back, defender. The trouble is what I've got at the moment. I'm looking at all of these players and I'm like, oh yeah, he'd be good. He'd be good. But I'm just not committing to one at the moment. I really need to commit to a forward. I really do. In terms of midfielders at the moment, I'm really interested in Sorare, and to the point where I might genuinely put a bid in. I'm really interested in... I'm interested in Perrin, but I think I'm going to hold off. And this guy. These are the two that I'm kind of really interested in terms of rares, where I genuinely am thinking about putting an offer in. And that's what I'm saying. If I sold Carlos Hill, again, I haven't got to sell him, but if I sell him and bring these two in, I wouldn't mind. Genuinely wouldn't mind. Like you say, one threshold at Super Rare, you can almost buy... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Trying to move... So, red or dead? Red or dead? Trying to move up from rare C... Oh, rare capped 2020 to rare capped 2040. I need a goalkeeping player, preferably second division, but we'll take any regular. Any suggestions? Not off the top of my head, mate. No, I would just look at kind of mid-table teams and then just literally go through and fly through all of them. Just pick a league, just fly through them all, see who the goalkeepers are, see whether they score between, like, I don't know, 40 and 47 from an L15 point of view, and then just go from there. So yeah, Sara and Colombato, but then I need to commit on the forward, don't I? Super rare. Stop pissing about and fucking pick one. Stop pissing about and pick one. Surely Dan James's super rare isn't 0.09. 130 quid. Yeah, it can't be. Look, already gone up. Basilbot's got one, yeah? Probably not going to sell it, though. Probably not going to sell it. Who's Pavel Trader got on nowadays? Has Pavel Trader got any decent super rares? I never really go on his gallery anymore. Do people normally deal with him anymore, by the way? I'm just all about the bots. I think Basil and, what's his name? Sir Hiss have just earned fucking a lot of money out of me. A lot of money out of me, for sure. Let's look at Pavel's Traders super rares. Picking up a Hector here, or Bouncy. That's interesting. So you're picking up a Hector. What are you picking up? Is that in rare or is that limited? Who has he got in here? So from a forward point of view, we don't want newest to oldest. Let's go from L15 best to worst. All rares. How much are you willing to spend on a Carlos Hill? With really, really good XP. Pavel wears poor super res and asked for a stupid amount because of cap. Basil at the moment isn't accepting super res, he said. Oh, really? What, in terms of trade, I'm assuming? Alright, well, fuck this guy then. Let's just leave him. Who else out there who has super rares? A lot of them. I suppose it's... I don't know if people do this. I know that people do this, but I don't know how many people do it. But like these top accounts, they sell their like they just sell who they get in on reward day. I mean, I can guarantee that a lot of these who he's just got in from rewards on reward day. Callum McGregor, yeah, he's already sold him. Yeah, this guy, he's already sold him. I should probably try and do that a little bit more. His Basil and Ruv. Yeah, Ruv's account though, it's not great, is it? Unless in terms of quality, I think it's almost like quantity with this guy. Let's just take a look at his super rares. Have you seen the gallery best price so rare? He used to bid on like every auction and sell the cards for a loss. Well, that's got to be some sort of, I don't know. How would you even be? How would you do fraud if he was at that business model? I don't know. That just seems a bit weird, doesn't it? Let's look at forwards that Ruv's got. Yeah, see, these just all look appalling. They look terrible, don't they? Midfielders, any decent ones in there. Jimmy Jego. Does he play? I've got a Newell. No, he's a sub. Yeah, always good to check rewards tab after each game week. A lot of the big accounts like You Never Walk Alone always sell cards. Yeah, if I go to, so you might be able to help me here then. So if I go to rewards, is there a quick way of knowing what people got? Like, is the UI good enough so I can see that? So, hide manager name. So show manager name, right? Fair enough. So if I just went to all, like, if I went rare divisions, you can search the manager. Yeah, that's what I kind of used to do, is just get a list of the big accounts and then just go through them. But I've never really gone through here. But then I suppose it's from a super rare standpoint as well, super rare division. Yeah, this don't seem like it's a good way to do this. You're probably right. It's just having a list of those big accounts, right? And then just going through it like this. You can't even click into it. He's probably already moved him on as well, isn't he? Yeah. Walk alone. Who's he selling anyway? Nanzo sells a lot, I suppose, as well. So we could check him out in a minute just to see who he's got. And do these accounts as well, Jack? Maybe you know a bit better than me, but do they only list the players that they're willing to sell, or do they accept for kind of anyone? You'll be able to pick scarcity numbers. So super. Okay. What do you think a good amount to pay for a second division Super Rare goalkeeper is? I don't know, Joe. I mean, my second division goalkeeper cost me 0.6. You could probably get a bit cheaper, but it just depends on terms of the quality of Super Rare that you're trying to get, mate. But it seems like, from what I've seen, 0.5 to 0.7 is the range of some goalkeepers. Who's he got on sale? No one. Yeah. Okay, let's look at Nanzo's. He's normally selling a few supers, isn't he? Fuck me, the guy wins enough. Oh, we got this guy. I was gonna pick him up. I was gonna put a bid in for him. And then he's had a season-ending injury. On sale. On sale and apply. Okay. It depends on the manager, mate. When I first joined, I used to do an open type stream. Good way of getting rid of them, though. Yeah, but Nepenthez in, not that I'm trying to defend him or whatever. I don't even know the guy, but what he does is obviously collections, isn't it? So he's spending a lot of money in terms of collections. So whereas Jack looks probably a little bit more designed to win more, maybe I would say, without looking at both galleries and doing comparisons and all that sort of shit. Yeah, David says the same thing, Joe. Between like 0.6 and 0.8 would be fair. So yeah, I went like 0.5 to 0.7. So it's around there. Um, yeah, it's around there. I'm still not making a decision, am I, Alo, on a forward super rare? Don't know. I've got a feeling that I'm just not going to have time to properly like get to it this week, and it's just going to be as what you see there, depending on what goes on with that Cap 240. And if I don't pick up that guy, then Pencil would come out of this lineup. Victor would go in as the forward. Rayner would go in as the mid, but then Pencil doesn't play and he's got a good fixture. So Pencil might come in for Palacios into this lineup, and then I might just leave it and see what happens. But I'd really like to just pick up some players. Good stream more, mate. I really like it. Oh, appreciate that, Kebab, mate. Yeah, it's just timings for me, mate. It is timings. So obviously I gave my notice in, so I've got a bit more time where I'm taking the piss a little bit. But when I start a new job in the new year, I'm not going to be able to do this at these times. So I can do it of an evening, but then I found that when I've done it of an evening, there's not as many people who are around. So if say I'm doing it like 8, 9 p.m. or something like that, UK, not many people are about. So it's a little bit tough. And then I went through a phase where I was just like, look, at the end of the day, you're kind of not getting enough people in here to, because Laird said this before, like when you're live streaming, and I've only done probably 10, but when you are live streaming, you're almost dependent on the chat. Because there's only certain things that I can do in here where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm looking at a super rare forward, and then I might be silent for like 10 minutes where I'm looking at every single one, etc. Whereas when people are asking questions or getting involved and making suggestions, or if there's like, oh, can you look at my gallery and that sort of stuff, then it's a lot more engaging and it's better from when you're hosting it. Otherwise, you are just literally sitting there silent. So you definitely want. I mean, I'm not making any money out of this, right, in terms of this stream, but it's just the interaction that I kind of really enjoy. But yeah, if you've only got like 2 or 3 people watching, obviously you're appreciative of those 2 or 3 people watching, but you need, yeah, you need more. Should try on Twitch too. Yeah, I've never really. I mean, the audience that I've kind of built up, I suppose, Jack, is on YouTube. We hit over 1,000 subscribers. So if you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. But if you are, then yeah, appreciate you subscribing and supporting the channel for absolute sure. So I've never really tried Twitch. I mean, I used to watch FIFA YouTubers on Twitch. I don't know if it's better than YouTube. I don't know. Whether you're more discoverable on there, whether Sorare's bigger on Twitch. I have no idea. You ever want to do dual streams? Um, I mean, maybe. I mean, Quinny's contacted in the past and said, "Do you want to do a couple of videos and stuff?" And we've kind of just never really got around to it. But I don't want to just put videos out for the sake of putting videos out, or just because because it's Quinny. Oh, let's try and do it. I think the videos have got to deliver something. So yeah, if there's a decent topic, then yeah, dual stream or a dual video or something like that. But it's got to mean something, if you know what I mean. Rico man, can you help me find? Can you help me? Sorry, I need a rare card for around 0.02 for Cap 220 from La Liga or La Liga 2. Um, is it just in general? Like, what's the L15 range between like 40 and 50, or are you looking for a certain one? But we can pull it up and do a little quick filter. I am gonna probably shoot off in about 5-10 minutes because got the whole routine to start, dinner and fucking um kids bath times and all this, and I've actually got a pack because I'm got to do some shit tomorrow and that. But Cameron, have you ever made any money from your Sorare videos? Not a dime, mate. Not a penny, should I say? No. With YouTube, you have to. I mean, I'm not a YouTube expert by any means, but you have to have over 1,000 subscribers, and then from there you have to apply for monetization, and then from there probably adverts then come onto your videos, and then you make money from your adverts. But unless you're getting thousands or tens of thousands worth of views, then I'm assuming you just don't make anything. So hopefully, you know, Sorare picks up and we get like as many as the, you know, when we look at the FPL guys, right? Um, so I always used to listen to Let's Talk FPL. This guy for me was the best at FPL content, and so he's got 388,000 subscribers and he's well nearly 2,000 videos. But if we take a look at his videos, he's getting like 84,000, and that was one day ago. It seems like his average by quick looking at this is around 75k, I would say, and he's putting one out pretty much every single day. Different, you know, he's got final thoughts, then he goes into early thoughts, transfer tips, team selections, game preview, final thoughts, transfer tips, team select. So he's just got that sort of system. But unless So Rare sort of picks up, and that's why it is interesting to see where So Rare goes with all of this. You know, sign up, you get a free tenner. 300 managers signed up or bought a card or whatever it was yesterday. Uh, but but yeah, it was, and until there are some, I mean, even Nep, right? He's obviously got a ridiculous audience in terms of FIFA. Channy's got a good audience, Haber, etc. Even their Sorare videos don't do great. So Sorare needs to be bigger in order for content creators to make money. Is my initial thought. Going off on a tangent there, but yeah. NEL15, to be honest. I mean, I don't know, mate. I mean, you're probably looking at a defender for cheapness. Probably want to look down here somewhere. Just seeing if a name brings out. I'm not too sure. I don't want to suggest somebody without like proper going in. I mean, this guy's on my watch list, so he must be there for a reason because he can spike. But he DMP'd last game, probably because he got injured in this game. But he was one that I was potentially looking at as a super rare. So he might be worth a look. Not too sure. If anyone in chat knows anybody, then feel free to let Rico Man know for sure. I'll tell you who ain't bad, and I'm not trying to pump him because I own him, but I just think for the price of what I got him at, is it Sebastian Young? Or is it Sebastian? Yeah, Sebastian. He's this guy for a defender. Look how cheap he is. He's like £8. That's solid for me. Getting between 45s and 80s, somewhere in that region, for £8. Yeah, I think it's decent. I think it's good. Sebastian Young. So there you go. So it doesn't look like I'm gonna be doing anything, does it? Really? Which means that my lineup builder is gonna be this. This. You see with Germany is the break coming up. Yeah, depends whether you're going long term. I mean, if you're not, obviously it's Turkish leagues that you need to look at, Prem, Championship, around there. And the Prem and Championship, although I have a lot of knowledge about the Prem in terms of just teams and managers and God knows what, but I don't own a Prem card, and I just won't. I don't think unless it's a Spurs card for a long time, just because of what their prices are. Really, you can get them cheaper elsewhere. So depends whether you're willing on sitting back and waiting 2 or 3, maybe 4 game weeks, and then starting again in January, or you want to go in with it, mate. And if so, take a look at Turkey. I mean, if we looked at my watch list, I'm pretty sure there's a hell of a lot of people on here that play in the Turkish league. Have I missed it already? Yeah, there you go. Pretty sure there's a lot in here. Yeah. Take your pick. This guy ain't too bad from a cap mode, just because he's kind of up and down a little bit. He's got a lot of orange here, but then he comes out of 100. But apparently he gives the ball away a lot. So there's him. This guy, he's old, but he's in terms of solid, but it depends what you want, whether it's a cap 240 or cap 220s, so you probably need those spikes. Um, who else is there? Yeah, probably wouldn't recommend anybody else in there. Holy for cat modes is an absolute beast. Oh, does he play his defense? Doesn't he? Centre back, yeah. Yeah, he is actually, isn't he? He's a bit of a beast. Does he normally start for him? Like all the time? He clearly had an injury here, then sub appearance, then straight back in. He was benched there, but that was probably after a run of games, and it was against bottom of the league. Yeah, he seems to play all the time, doesn't he? Yeah, he's probably the best centre back. Yeah, he does look decent. How long's he been there for? A while? Not too long. Season and a half, something like that. Him or Bailly. Still mad how Gedson Fernandez is that cheap. Considering I was thinking about picking him up probably about 3 months ago for probably 5 times that price. I mean, he's a good cap. He's a good cap player, isn't he? His super rare is still mad expensive. I mean, that's Pavel Trader probably trying to sell that, right? No, it's not. Somebody else. Still mad expensive. People in the Sorare Asia section of the Discord were saying earlier that Romelu should be signing a new contract. Yeah. From you low. When does that season start again? As in for that club? I'm assuming it's what is it? Is it China that he plays out in? So hard to get info on him. Really late April. Oh, okay. Yeah, fuck that then. Right, boys, I'm gonna have to go. I'll definitely won't be streaming tomorrow. Maybe a Friday afternoon, similar time. I might squeeze in like an hour or so, but it definitely be after the deadline. If you haven't liked the video, smash the like button. If you enjoyed the stream, if you ain't subscribed, yeah, hit the subscribe button and have a good game week. And I will see you all soon. Cheers for watching, guys. Take care. Have a good evening. Bye bye.